Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session, Getting Real with Dolben, Avoid the Leasing Pinch. I'm Kayla Ware, and I'll be your host as we march into leasing season with some incredible tips and insights from our experts on today. We are exactly 3 weeks away from St. Patty's Day today, so it's all about making sure your leasing strategy doesn't rely on luck and make sure your tech stack doesn't leave your teams feeling pinched. Before we dive in, a few quick housekeeping items. First, we are recording this session and we'll send the replay to your inbox tomorrow. Next, we want to hear from you. Please drop your questions in the Q&A box at any time throughout the session, and our panelists will answer them toward the end. Lastly, stick around. We have a special attendee offer where you can receive 10 professionally produced videos, that's a $900 value, to jumpstart your spring momentum. So to get us started, I will hand things over to Matt Wyrick, Executive Vice President here at Grace Hill. Matt, the floor is all yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kayla. I should have come equipped with some better St. Patrick's Day puns, but we'll see if the juices get flowing throughout the webinar. Thank you everyone for coming today. We're super excited about this conversation. Don't want to steal any thunder, but what John and the Dolben team have done with Realync over the last year has been so special and so incredible to see. So we're thankful that John is here. We're excited to dive into that conversation all about the operationalization of your tech stack today. And we'll talk about more than just Realync. There's some solid Realync examples in there, but yeah, really excited for the conversation today. Like Kayla mentioned, I'm Matt Wyrick, Executive Vice President, co-founder of Realync, and I'll pass it over to Joe joining us for the conversation before we pass it on to John.
So happy to be here, Matt. My name is Joe Davis. I'm the Director of Strategic Growth for Grace Hill and based here in Atlanta, Georgia. And without further ado, John, I'd like to pass it over to you.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. John Schroeder, Vice President of Marketing for the Dolben Company. We have about 70 properties on the East Coast, about 16,000 units. I've been involved in multifamily marketing for the past about 20 years. Prior to joining Dolben, I owned and operated my own agency. We specialized in brand building, website design and development, digital marketing, 3D rendering, and photography. So happy to be here.
Excellent. I have a lot of questions about the 3D rendering history, and we'll talk deeper about that offline. But thank you so much, John, for joining. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause our share for now. We'll pop in and out on the screen share, but to get the conversation going, talk to us a little bit about the beginning. Let's start back to when you joined Dolben. I know Realync was already in place within the portfolio when you got there. What was your first impression of the platform? What were some of those early years of our partnership like for you?
Yeah, so I joined Dolben in 2023. I would say that it was an inherited product. I did not know much about Realync when I first started. Obviously, knew about virtual tours, but in terms of putting the product into the hands of the leasing staff, I wasn't as familiar. So I think really it was about, the early days were about learning and understanding the full capabilities. What I really thought was cool about it, though, I learned to really love Realync was that it really put into the hands of our on-site teams really the ability to film virtual tours themselves um, easily. And that was the cool part that I think, over time, it's similar to other folks that are out there too, but then, and then slowly but surely, and we'll get into this later, I'm sure, but it's the integrations with other vendors and things like that that really made it a powerful tool for us.
I love that viewpoint on it, John, especially as simple as we can make it for your adoption. And so I'm really curious, at what point did you and the team decide in 2025 that it was going to be different when it came to Realync? And what really went into that decision for you all?
Well, in 2025, we only had one goal as an organization for the whole year, which was to win a Grace Hill Excellence Award. I'm joking, of course, but really, I think it was not 2025 in particular. It was rolling it back, stepping back a little bit. It was the major software change that we had as an organization a couple years prior. We went through a whole digital transformation, so to speak. Part of that included a new website environment. And then we were able to, one of the directives from our ownership was to include unit level information on our website. And that's really where Realync came into play and became a, indispensable tool for us. And so the success that we experienced in 2025 was really all about hitting that objective, which was to get level data across the board, across all of our 70 websites. And so, that was why last year was a big year for us.
I love that. And the results really speak for themselves. It truly was a banner year for Realync, for Dolben. I'm going to pull up just a snapshot of visualizing that. You can see like Realync was there, and then 2025. Hello. Talk to us about the results of all that focus, the team effort that went into driving that sort of an exponential growth in specifically this is videos produced. So your teams rolled up their sleeves, they got to work and they shot nearly 4,000 new videos in 2025 alone. What did you guys do that accomplished that?
Well, first, I love how in 2020 we filmed one video. I would love to see what that video was. Maybe you can dig that up from the archives.
Uh,
So you can see, 2021 is we're just getting the product rolled out. 2022, same deal. 2023 also coincides with the year that I first started with Dolben. We started to pay a little bit more attention to it in terms of communicating it out to our on-site teams. I think that's the first time that we started to really incorporate it into our marketing trainings. And we started to, I guess, be more consistent about communicating it. But it wasn't really mandatory at that point. We were just really offering it to our on-site teams as a nice to have tool. In 2024, that's when we've really rolled out our new website environment. So, but at that point, it was not connected to Realync, all the unit level tours. And then 2025, I think it was really like, how do we take advantage of this product that we're investing in? And that's really when we got serious about it. We reinstated some leasing contests that we had prior to COVID. We incorporated Realync as part of one of the challenges in our leasing competitions. And then around the summertime, we started this Realync reboot competition. And I think the Realync reboot competition is really why we're sitting here today. This is the reason that we had so much success last year getting our on-site teams to participate. And really, what Realync it poses, it's an interesting product because it's A, it's software, but B, it's hardware, and there's also kind of a creative component. So we really wanted to get in front of our on-site teams. And so we got all of our teams together. We conducted 2 trainings in New England, 2 trainings in the Mid-Atlantic in person. So every single one of our leasing staff was trained. We invited Realync to also do a presentation during those times. And then I think, what we did to formalize it or actually make it exciting was we offered cash prizes for the teams that captured the most videos. So it was really the combination of getting the teams educated about it, comfortable with the hardware and the software, understanding the why behind why as an organization are we doing it, and then offering them cold hard cash. I think was the secret sauce and what brought everything together.
That's fantastic, John. And I love how you broke that down. And a lot of times you can do all of the training, you can talk to your teams in person, whatever that may be. But I love also that you took time to start with the why and to explain that and to give reason for it. And so people could follow along and at least, mentally put into place and practice what you're trying to achieve there. So, with those monumental results that you and your team got in 2025, congratulations to you and your team, by the way. I know that was a lot of work. How do you plan to build on that momentum through 2026? Is that 8,000 videos? What does that look like potentially to you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope, I hope we can do as well as we did last year and the year upcoming. As it stands right now, we have about a third of our portfolio has been filmed. It's a goal for us as an organization to film 100% of the portfolio. I don't know if that's even attainable, but it's something that we will strive for. I think, being consistent is number one. Doing what we did last year that we found that was successful, and starting there. We've also empowered our marketing managers to go out there and to film units every single time they are at a property site, just to kind of reinforce that, work it into our whole training system and culture. And then also, one of the parts that we're trying to use to operationalize it is to really build it into the unit turn checklist, so that literally a unit cannot turn until they have checked off that a video does exist. I think the jury's still out whether or not we, have the ability to police something like that, for lack of a better term. But I do think that that's really the next evolution for us is to, we've got the program in place, and then it's a matter of following up to ensure that our teams are actually doing it and building internal processes in terms of, checking to make sure that everybody's doing and following the programs that exist.
Love that. I love that you're putting it into your existing workflows, and we'll have the champagne ready when you do hit 100%, by the way, John, because we believe that you can, and it's a great plan that you've put together to be able to do so. So we'd like to transition here for just a moment to an interactive poll. And so the first poll, when we want audience participation, so everybody finger on the mouse, get ready to go. So the first question that we'll have, which will jump up here on the middle of the screen, is how would you describe your team's current relationship with your tech stack, your leasing tech stack? And you have four choices here. Are you going to get lucky? Is it just another tool? Are you operationalizing it? Are you the powerhouse like John over here? And we'll give that just a second. And it's always so interesting to see the up and down relationship that you can have with your leasing tech stack. When it really works for you, it's going fantastic. And when it's not, when it feels like an add-on, a lot of times it's more work. I really don't want to jump into that per se.
That's what I love about this message in particular, as you could see from that chart. Like we were there. We were partnered with Dolben, and one video in 2020, someone did it, but it took intentionality and it took
Mhm.
partnership and it took um, ultimately making the decision as a corporate team to do something differently and to pursue it. So yeah, don't feel bad if you're just searching for that four-leaf clover of luck when it comes to your tech stack and hoping your teams pick it up and use it because you're not alone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll close this poll down, and to no surprise, we have kind of a split mix, depending on where people are at. And so, no shocker there. And everybody's going through it a little bit differently, depending on your organization and probably your market that you're in too. And so, from there, Matt, why don't you take the reins for a second?
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Appreciate everyone weighing in to just have a gut check of where we're at from a tech stack standpoint. So there's one thing you mentioned, John, that I'm excited to revert back pre-poll to. You talked about instilling that behavior of anytime your team goes out, take the gimbal. And if you're walking a unit, take the gimbal and operationalizing it as a part of the turn process. And one of the big things we at Realync have done to really help partner on that exact effort of knowing where to start what to shoot when, especially, I mean, the closer you get to 100%, the harder it's going to be of like, oh, we're waiting for that one unit to turn so we can go get it. Well, with Realync and with our integrations, you mentioned the power of the Realync integrations. We launched a unit level insights tab built into Realync that can help your team see what they have or don't have captured and what is going to be coming through in the coming weeks, what's turning that they may need to get out and capture. Unfortunately, on my calendar, I don't have anything turning, so you can't see any yellow circles on the calendar for me to get out and record. But scrolling down here, you can see of the floor plans at my property, I've got 3 of the 10 floor plans currently captured, and so we're starting to pull together just this quick hit visual dashboard to give your team insights into what is or isn't captured, what your media coverage is across your properties, and sounds like you're even using this yourself, John, for accountability purposes too. I think you did the research this morning to see exactly what percent of units captured you guys are sitting at. Um, so I guess talking to that, how are you using this information to really help hold the teams accountable to where to start, what's next, what do I need to capture, and just making sure they keep on it.
Yeah, I mean, so we utilize the dashboard. I don't think we're quite as expert users as you probably are, but we're really, dipping our toe into the dashboard and all the different cool features that are there. I mean, we really use the dashboard to kind of do a quality check on our videos as the number one thing that we use the dashboard for. But in terms of like checking to see which units have turned, and that's really built into our property management system. And then we can go back and cross-reference based on the videos that are already in the platform. So this is this upcoming year is the year that we're really going to double down and like do that cross-referencing. The past year was really just building the infrastructure and the process. And now that we have the infrastructure and the process, then we're going to do the double checking. And that's where I think what you were showing really will come into play. So even though we won an award last year, we still don't have everything figured out. We're still, working on it and just trying to, get 1% better every day. And I think that's what we communicate to our teams. And the biggest thing for I think the adoption of Realync within an organization is to get over that initial hump of the learning curve and making it really accessible for your teams to understand that you don't have to be perfect out of the gate. You just have to get out of the gate, and then getting out of the gate once you're there, you'll look back in your first video and probably laugh. That's why I want to see the one from 2020, so I can have a good laugh. But then you'll see how it evolves and how you get more comfortable and your teams get better. And I think it requires continual maintenance and training, right? This is not a set it and forget it type of a product. As on-site teams kind of turn over and things like that, which is just an inevitable part of the multifamily world. There will be retraining and retraining, and there's new product, what do you call them? Features within Realync. You'll need to continually train your team. So, yeah.
I love the 1% better because for a portfolio like yours, 1% better every day is what, 15 to 20 net new videos every single day? Like
We're getting
that's
like 5, so maybe we're at a half, a quarter.
there we go. But that's material. That really compounds and that adds up to be something super impactful. That's how you get there. That's great. Sorry, Joe.
That's exactly right. Don't apologize for that. That was fantastic. And that's how you pursue excellence at the end of the day. You see it all the time with teams or even sports teams. You don't get complacent. If you get complacent, you don't achieve it. So great mentality jumping into that. And it sounds like you have a lot of things coming up that are going to help you with that, including the confirmation tool that you have just to make sure people are doing what you've put in place there. That's fantastic. So that leads me to kind of think about our next question here for you, John. And a number of operators have had similar aspirations to yours when it comes to maximizing the benefit from the platforms and tech that they may already have in place. for one reason or another, they really haven't been able to put the pedal down to the floor like you all did and with Realync in 2025. So, what do you credit for being the reason or reasons why you were able to enact just such a monumental change and shift with how your site teams were utilizing the Realync platform?
Yeah, to go back on something that I said earlier, really, I think it's, we tried the virtual training, and we tried for virtual training for 4 years, and we got little to no traction, I would say. It was when we coupled the virtual training with hands-on in-person training, and then offer them cash prizes. So I think it's important to, because this is a tangible product as much as it is a digital product. I think it's important to kind of, demo this with your on-site teams, and uh, to get over the fear of the creative component of filming a video if you're maybe not a creative person, to show them some simple techniques to utilize that, are easy for everybody to, once you understand that there are easy techniques, that you don't have to be Steven Spielberg to make one of these videos, that, the gimbal, once it turns on and stabilizes, is not that difficult to use. So really combating some of those objections, I think, that the onsite teams have initially, and then continually showing them the why. This is, resulting in 217,000 annual views, right? Your prospects are coming in way more equipped and knowledgeable of your which apartment home they would like to have, prior to even stepping foot in your building. And then also showing all the different uses. You can use this on social media. You can ingrain this in Ingrain. You can put this on your website. You can do all this cool stuff with it. And I think that educating everybody is half the battle. So I would say train in person. We didn't see a big difference until we started training in person. Training in person, and if you can run a leasing contest, definitely do that, because I think that breathes excitement into the product.
Mhm. Yeah, a couple of things you said there, John, that I love. One, my team knows over the 12 years of Realync, one of my go-to quotes was, "It doesn't have to be complicated to be successful." Like there's a lot that really can do, but at the end of the day, video, people understand video. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think you have to Spielberg this and make it perfection. People just want to see the exact thing, and that's what you're doing. And the results are very real. But then you mentioned the other use cases as well. I just took a glimpse, and your teams have 4,000 video views from QR codes. Like that's awesome. I mean, that's one thing we have COVID to thank for, the resurgence of QR codes. And like that's just another one of those ways that your teams are getting the content out there in some really cool and creative ways. Uh, Kayla's a fan. Kayla's a fan. And speaking of creativity and creative ways to connect, because at the end of the day, Realink is a leasing enablement tool. You hit the nail on the head. Your prospects are coming in at a stronger, further along decision-making level because they've seen the space. They've previewed your community at such depth. That's having a material impact on your leasing process. And I know one thing where maybe not excelling and thriving today is Realink's live virtual tours. And we've talked about that, and we've talked about some of the connectivity and personal devices versus corporate devices. And there's a lot of things that go into live virtual tours, but it is such an increasingly impactful part of the leasing process as well, to literally be able to take your tours to the people with your people at the center. That human connectivity is so impactful in the process. So we're excited to keep leaning in with you on that when we talk about what's next. Obviously, the pursuit of unit level media across the Dolben portfolio, we got that. We're making it happen. But live virtual tours as well, layering it in, the conversion rate off live virtual tours is phenomenal. And one thing I selfishly want to highlight on the live virtual tour front that layers back to what we were just talking about, team. team turnover, team performance. Yes, Realync is a software platform, and we've got a hardware, and it's on your team to use it. One really cool and powerful thing that we launched with Realync in the world of AI is what we call our live video intelligence. And without doing a mystery shop, there's such limited insight into how your teams are showcasing your buildings and what they're saying or not saying, showing or not showing. And what's really cool about Realink's live virtual insights is every single live virtual tour hosted by your team connecting with a prospective renter is it was always saved and recorded for compliance purposes and now has deep AI analytics pulled out of it that can actually show you and inform you how your teams are showing your buildings, what they're saying or not saying, showing or not showing, how their sentiment and behavior with that prospect was. And on the flip side, we can also tell you what your prospects think of the properties as well. Prospect sentiment, positive sentiment, negative topics, things like that. So there's a lot of really cool things that we can do with this media to really not just impact leasing and leasing conversion and trying to make it easier for your teams, but for you as a decision maker as well. Like you said, turnover is not a thing in the multifamily industry at all. Doesn't impact anyone, but it's something we have to live with, and being able to actually be informed of how your teams are doing. Are there performance gaps? Are there additional trainings that need to be done to make sure they're saying the right things, connecting with the prospects in the way that they want connected with? Some really powerful things there. So that was my shameless adjacent plug to the
I think
topic.
that's a really cool feature for sure. And as you mentioned, we would be all over that if it weren't for some just operational challenges that we would have to work through in order to get to there.
Yeah,
But definitely,
absolutely.
definitely awesome.
Yep. And I mean, kind of the nature of the beast. Little known fact about Realync, version 1 launched back in 2013, 14, 13. I should know that. I launched it. Version 1 of Realync was live virtual tours only. And we didn't launch pre-recorded videos until about a year later. And so that's always been the mission and vision is, hey, connect with your prospects where they are, show them what they need to see, and the rest will take care of itself. So we'll figure it out, John. We'll make it happen. All right, back to you, Joe.
I love that. And thank you so much for that insight, Matt. And one of the key topics that we want to discuss is um, operationalizing your tech stack and getting that done in a fair and balanced manner. And so when you do that, when you're struggling with adoption from week to week, month over month, feels like you've kind of hit that operationalized state with Realync. So what checks and balances or accountability pillars have you put in place to ensure that that continues?
Yeah, I mean, I think that asking the on-site teams to every time they turn a unit to indicate whether or not they have in fact filmed a video. So building it into the unit turn process, which we have done. And then I think, you know, we need to, as a company, check to make sure that that's happening, right? And that's the piece that we're working on in this year is to really be able to analyze, have the on-site teams, in fact, if there are 20 units available this week, did we have 20 units filmed? And putting those checks and balances in place. And then so kind of monitoring it a little bit more than we have been. Last year we got the check in place, but we haven't been monitoring it. And now we intend to, monitor it, follow up with the team. So that's, I think, half the battle for us. And then there's the, video quality aspect of things. And I think, one of the best features that you guys have come out with over the past year or two has been the AI video scoring. And that has helped our team tremendously take the lift off. So, we are, not looking at, maybe every single video and every single second of every single video, and from the marketing team standpoint, but we're looking at all of the yellow and all of the red videos to make sure that they do pass our quality control. And so that's been a very helpful um, control as well. We have our marketing coordinator doing this across our entire portfolio every single day, going through, between 5 and 20, quarter percent or 1% of all of our videos filmed every single day. Um, so that's what we're doing today.
Love that. Love that. So that actually brings us to our next poll. So everybody get your trigger fingers ready to go on your mouse. And so our second poll does have to do with operationalization. So is operation, I can't talk today. So when you're operationalizing and integrating your current tech stack, what is the top three goals for your organization? Or is it a top three goal for your organization in 2026? So the answer is yes, it's a primary focus this year. Maybe we'd like to get there, but we want a better playbook first, develop out that what that process looks like. Or no, absolutely not. We're currently focused on adding other tools rather than optimizing old ones. Please don't ask us again.
Mhm.
So which one do you fall into? We'll give it just a second there for our participants to list out a few. And
While
big
they're answering that,
surprise.
John, actually curious, I realized we didn't have a question about this. Do you have plans to do what you did with Realync to other platforms in your tech stack?
I mean, I would say that one of the things that I did first when I got to Dolben was make sure that we are taking full advantage of all of our different vendors, products and services and integrations, right? So I think that, connecting vendors that can be connected is a really important thing. And ultimately, the answer is yes to your question. Like, we want a connected ecosystem. We believe that it's better for everybody to be connected. For example, how our website, utilizes Realync and also, Ingrain and how Realync products are everywhere. But we're doing the same thing with our ILSs. We're making sure that we are utilizing them to the full potential. We're doing the same thing with our chatbots, making sure that Realync is in our chatbots, not just standalone. So a lot of connecting, and we have all this great content, but putting it all together has certainly been a goal over the past couple of years. So yes, forever and always, Matt.
I love it. Excellent. Well, from a poll standpoint, a lot of people want to, but they need that playbook. So there might be a future in consulting for you, John. It looks like a lot of people are looking for the playbook and taking some of those best practices back to see how they can operationalize their tech stack better in 2026. So we appreciate everyone
I think you also have to
participating in the
choose.
poll.
You also have to choose what to focus on too. I mean, most marketing teams are probably not super robust that have endless resources that can take on 20 different rollouts at the same time. So I think it's a matter of prioritizing, and then utilizing the tools that you have already to the maximum potential. So start there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Great advice. Well, we're going to move on to a fire round. These are going to be quick hit. We want to make sure we get to some Q&A with the audience and everyone on the call. So first one coming at you, John. What is the best Realink video you have seen and why?
I'm gonna, go in left field on this one, but I think that the best videos that I've seen have been the ones. Do you have that? Yes. Thank you. Are the ones that actually aren't even about unit level information. It's how our on-site teams have utilized Realync for creative ways to how to throw away your trash, where to throw away your trash. Don't, leave it outside the dumpster, throw it in the dumpster, right? So these are just fun little social ways that you can more effectively communicate. And I think that that's a great example of how our teams are really, showcasing their full creative potential and the benefits of the platform.
Love that. And hey, who doesn't want an explosion coming out of the dumpster when you throw in a trash bag, right? I mean, hey, Gets your attention right there.
Monster
But that's
fire.
fantastic. Yeah. It's a great versatile way to utilize our platform, and especially in a stabilize or lease up, doesn't matter kind of where you are. Everybody needs the 101 of how you live in the community well, how you're a great neighbor. So, next question. Biggest video lesson learned through your experience. What does that look like?
Um, I don't know. I think that really don't try to I guess you know, come out of the gates with like I said earlier, Steven Spielberg level. Just get going and don't let the amount of videos like intimidate you that you need to film. Just get going. And so I'd say that's the biggest lesson learned is like don't be reluctant or hesitant to just get started. You got to start somewhere. That is not going to be where you end up, but don't wait and just accept the fact that your first videos are going to be probably laughable when you're done your 100th video.
And don't worry, we at Realync only look up the laughable videos on occasion. We don't judge. It's all good. No, you have to have fun with it because when you have fun with it, that shows through, that shines through. Any tips for those on the call who are looking to add Realync but maybe don't have it or aren't doing anything with video yet?
I would say keep your toilet seats down, avoid your reflection in the mirror. Um, but really, I think I think I'll use the same answer twice. Just get going. I mean, that's the biggest thing is don't be afraid to make mistakes and get over that initial hump by in-person trainings. That I can't tell you enough. If I could have done this all over, we would have saved 3, 4 years, and we just would have started with in-person trainings. To me, that is the what is necessary to really get this product off the ground.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the things too, I think it's vital in a partnership is ensuring that we have a good academy, a learning academy for you to be able to access to and providing all those tools. It needs to be a partnership, and that's just one thing I want to really emphasize from all the amazing things that you've told us, John, is that you need a great partner coming alongside you, lockstep, and just helping you shine. You guys are such a great organization, fantastic leaders, and really, really excited to be able to partner with you. So, Matt, I'll turn it back to
Yep.
you.
Absolutely. Well, John, really appreciate the conversation today. We're not done. We're going to do some Q&A. Before we do, I know it's kind of tongue in cheek, but Kayla mentioned this earlier. For those on the webinar, we do capture content for you as well. We have what's called Realync Studios with videographers all across the US and operationalizing the site teams to capture the content themselves is always going to be the most affordable and scalable way to capture that unit level media across your portfolio. That said, for those of you who joined us today, thank you for coming. This isn't goodbye. The thank you for coming. I know it sounded like that for a second. My apologies. The thank you for you coming to our webinar today. We would love to do a 10 video package for you. 10 videos produced and shot by our Realync videographers. That is a $900 value. Terms and conditions apply. Must sign up before March 31st, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. If you're interested, reach out to us and we'll talk through all the details of it. But super appreciative of everyone showing up. And this is just our way of thanking you for coming, for learning more about how you can operationalize Realync. And what better way to learn and discuss operationalizing Realync than over a glass of wine? So Joe is actually going to be representing out at the Multifamily Strategic Marketing Summit, formerly known as Social Media Summit. I'm still working myself on that, but Joe will be out at SMS this year and would love to grab a glass of wine with you to talk about this conversation in more detail. So if you're going to be there, reach out to us and maybe we can talk about that Realync Studios package for you.
Okay, here we are already at our Q&A part of our session. If you haven't had a chance to yet, now's your chance to put those questions in our Q&A box on your Zoom webinar panel. You can also drop them in the chat and I can pick them up there. We did have a couple come in during the session, so I'll start with our first. The first was, does Realync integrate with Appfolio?
Yes and no. The primary answer is no. So Appfolio has a very specific API that unfortunately we just haven't had the client demand for building out that API yet. That said, if you are client demand for building out that API, we would love to talk to you about that. Realync is integrated into Yardi, Entrada, all sorts of backend systems because, like John mentioned earlier, getting Realync integrated into your systems and processes and being that sharp tool in the larger toolbox is the goal at the end of the day. So
I would
that's
say
why it's yes and
too,
no.
can I jump in, Matt? I would just
Yeah.
say before our Realync was integrated into our website environment, it was not integrated into that particular partner. So I would just ask the product development folks at whichever company you'd like to integrate with Realync, and oftentimes they have a willingness and ability to integrate this. They sure, no problem, and it's a win-win for both companies. So it doesn't hurt to ask.
Love
That's
that.
Very
right.
good. Anything, Joe?
No,
I
I
thought I cut you
cannot.
off.
Everything that John just said, that was fantastic. So go right ahead, Kayla.
Thank you. Okay, so our second one came in about halfway through. It was how critical are those integrations into the success of Realync across Dolben's portfolio last year?
I would say very critical. I mean, that's the infrastructure piece that really was the why. Without the uh, mass visibility of the Realink videos, it was just being emailed on a one-off basis. So this gave the product scale, and which gives it importance.
Absolutely. Okay, so from a team standpoint, it sounds like this was marketing led, but who else in your experience across the org was involved in leading this or, touch Realink in any way?
Yeah, good question. So definitely, Dolben probably does things a bit differently than other folks, but I'm sure everybody has the nuances. But our marketing team is responsible for training on marketing products, but we work very closely with the property management team and teams, right? So we, as and including our ownership, right? So our ownership really set the vision, and marketing executed the vision, and we relied on our property teams to, really support that execution. So it really took like, 200 people to do what we did last year, which was the involvement of all on-site leasing staff with, some trainings done by myself and another member of the marketing team. And then, and our marketing coordinator continues to kind of help facilitate that in the background. So it takes a
Yeah.
village, I'd say.
That's a great lead into our last question that came in from Megan in the chat. She was asking about the importance of in-person training, and you mentioned that that's kind of how you got going solidly on Realync. How do you continue to manage that with your marketing manager as you bring in new people on your team?
I think we have to continue to do the in-person trainings just like we did this past year on the leasing contest, the Realink reboot contest. I think we've got to get out into invite our folks in and incorporate Realink, showing how to basically doing that all over again. And then we've also for some targeted spot training and some reinforcement. Our marketing managers are required to get to the property that they are responsible for a few times a year. Each time that they go, we're asking that they bring their stabilizer and help conduct a on-the-spot training. In addition to that, there's other video resources that you all put out. There's video resources that we've created to have in our own Loom library. And all of that in combination is really what we're doing to keep the ball rolling.
Very
But it's
good.
not,
Thank you, John.
we can't stop. Like if we were to stop and not do what we did last year, this year, then we're going to see
Mhm.
our numbers go like this. So we gotta keep the party going.
Absolutely. Thank you, John, for those thoughtful answers. Thank you, everyone who submitted your questions. And that's all for questions from our audience today. If you think of more questions after this session or want to connect with our speakers, you can find them on LinkedIn using the QR code coming up on your screen now. Let's see. There it is. From all of us, thank you for attending our live session today. Reach out with any questions or if you'd like to grab that deal. We hope to connect with each of you soon and have a great week. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks all.